35 drivers, 16 nationalities, 3 champions, 1 champ. Road to Indy TV.
The Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires headed back into oval mode as they traveled to the gateway city of St. Louis to battle it out on the 1.25-mile World Wide Technology Raceway as part of the Bommarito Automotive Group 500. Andretti Autosport's Oliver Askew turned up the heat in his quest to clinch the Indy Lights Championship, qualifying his number 28 Index Investelara on the pole for the 75-lap race. The American's longtime rival, Rinus VeeKay, qualified second to set the stage for the continuing showdown. VeeKay took the lead at the start of the run, leveraging a low downforce setup to maximize the grip from his Cooper tires, all in an effort to pull away with higher straight line speed. The Dutch sensation extended an early gap over Askew, but the point leader was patient, knowing that his setup would be ideal for the second half of the race. An early yellow flew when HMD Motorsports' Toby Sowery spun his car on the exit of turn number 2, having just displaced Dalton Kellett from 5th. VeeKay handled the restart, but it was only a matter of time before Askew fired up his attack, finally making his move on the back straight with a move to the outside of the leader in turn 3 on lap 51. Once in the lead, Askew simply pulled away, as VeeKay knew second would be his best possible result. HMD's David Malukas turned in an incredible run to third, his best finish of the year, putting the memories of his Freedom 100 wreck behind him. Juncos Racing's Rasmus Lint drew first blood in Indy Pro 2000, qualifying on the pole to score a crucial bonus point to start the weekend. Coming in as the championship leader, Lint was totally focused on ending the winning streak of Kyle Kirkwood, who had won 5 of the last 6 races. The RP Motorsport USA driver was second quick in time trials, but his times were disallowed after the team erroneously adjusted the rear wing on pit lane. At the drop of the green flag, Kirkwood was the driver to watch as he owned the outside line, knifing around the field. Amazingly, the American somehow found himself in the gearbox of D-Force's Moises de Oliveira, who had taken the early lead. At the start of lap 4, Kirkwood passed de Oliveira heading into turn 1, and he would not be challenged for the remainder of the race. The race's only caution flew when de Oliveira lost control of his PM18 heading into turn 3, when Lint made a strong move to the outside to take over third. Kirkwood handled the restart with 7 laps to go, pulling away as Enders was fighting with Lint for second. With Kirkwood out front and setting off for the checkered flag, Lint made his move to the outside as Enders defended low in turn number 3. Lint's Tatis stuck on the outside, and he was able to outrun Enders to the checkered flag. With the pass, Lint limited the damage to his championship lead, and he will head to Portland with a 6-point advantage over Kirkwood in the standings. The Road to Indy teams will now head to the Pacific Northwest for the Portland Grand Prix on Labor Day weekend, as all 3 series will resume competition at Portland International Raceway.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Norman, driver of the number 48 Andretti Autosport Indy Lights car. So I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Pretty much lived there my whole entire life. Went down to Tampa for this past year, but now I'm going back up to Ohio, just trying to figure out over the off season where I'm going to go, if I'm going to stay there, if I'm going to go to Indy, but pretty much born and raised from Cleveland, Ohio. There's a couple different things. I like rock climbing, I like video games, just hanging out with friends. My place in Ohio is right by Kent State University, and I have a lot of friends that go there, so just going to hang out with them. And also I love scuba diving, going to the beach and stuff, so I'll go down to Florida a lot. So really a whole bunch of different things I enjoy doing. Been into gaming a lot recently with all the new like Fortnite and things like that. So me and my friends stream sometimes on Twitch and things like that. So really besides that, I'm really just kind of a chill person. I like fitness, just try to stay as active as I can and keep my mind right. So I gotta say Toronto's probably one of my favorites, just the whole entire city and atmosphere. I love food, so there's tons of restaurants there to eat at. I would say Toronto, just as a whole experience, is very cool. And then my favorite track is Mid-Ohio, just hometown track. Really like that place. So there's a couple different places I really enjoy, but I'm looking to go to Laguna Seca this year. Never been out there, so we'll see how that goes. Follow me on Road to Indy TV, and you can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Hey guys, we're here at World Wide Technology Raceway just outside of St. Louis. This is our first oval since a string of road course races. There's quite a few differences on the race car in terms of the mechanical setup and what we do to prepare for an oval event. Today we're going to go over some of those differences. getting right into it. We're standing by the front of my car here, and one of the biggest things is the alignment. The actual, the mechanical setup of the wheels and the suspension is different. We're only ever turning left, ideally, and because of that, we can bias the car for a left-hand setup. So if you look at a race car normally from the front, the wheels are inclined towards the center line. That's called camber. We have camber on this car, but both wheels are now inclined left because we're always turning left. If we kind of walk back to the rear of the car, one of the things that does help us with our Cooper tires here, we have something called stagger. On these rear tires, we have about 1/2 inch of stagger, and what that is, if I were to take a string and wrap it around the circumference of my tire and then unfurl it and then measure it, my right tire is going to be about 1/2 inch longer. If you look from the back of the car, imagine a really big rear wheel and a really small inside wheel. If you let that car drive, it's just going to go in a circle, right? So again, we're trying to bias the car for turning left. For the aerodynamic package of the car, we're running the road course wings that you'd normally see on the Indy Lights car. We don't have the speedway wings on, but we're at a high downforce setup. One thing we'll do is from the race to qualifying, we'll trim. So for qualifying, we're going to take this upper element here and trim it down, flatten it out, so there's less drag and the car can accelerate and carry more speed down the straightaway. Another change that we do on the front of the car here is we actually tow both the wheels to the left, such that you have to turn the wheel to the right to go straight. What that does for you is it allows the angle of your hands to be in a more ergonomic position in the middle of the corner. If you were to turn in with a flat wheel at a track like Gateway where the banking's very high, it's a really tight corner, you have to put a lot of wheel into it and your hand's down your lap, and when you're always turning the same way, that can really fatigue you. So it's helpful to have that bias so that you're in a good position mid-corner. Well, that's been a quick overview of what we have to do to change this car over from a road course setup to an oval setup. I hope you guys liked what you learned, and we'll see you next time.
Hey guys, my name is Jacob Abel. I drive for Abel Motorsports in the Indy Pro 2000 series. I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, I went to school all years. I never did homeschooling. I went to a private high school, and yeah, sort of just grew up there, and I was actually a lacrosse player. So I actually got a pretty late start to racing. Started when I was about 12, which is late. But no, before that I played a bunch of sports. One of them was lacrosse. Traveled all over the country doing that, similar to racing. So yeah, always been in a really competitive atmosphere, even when it wasn't in racing. It's kind of weird when I'm away from the racetrack. It's like I'm not even a race car driver at all, just doing normal things. Yeah, just hanging out with friends, doing everything that most high schoolers do. When I'm away from the racetrack, I actually stay pretty busy. I actually just begun college in Indianapolis at Butler. So I just moved in there and about to start trying to balance the two. So yeah, I should stay pretty busy. In my free time, just do the normal high school kid things, hang out with friends, go to the lake, things like that. But yeah, so it should be pretty interesting because the first 4 weeks of college, I'm going racing. So yeah, I'm gonna start a little bit behind there, but no, it should be good. Obviously, being in Indianapolis, going to school, I would hope they sort of understand racing a little bit more and understand what I do. But no, it should be pretty good. It might be a little bit tough to balance at first, but I think in the off season it should be a lot easier for sure. You can follow along with me on the Road to Indy TV app and on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well.
Absolute Dominance by Oliver Askew and Kyle Kirkwood, best friends from Jupiter, Florida, is the story of the moment and the story of the second half of the Indy Pro 2000 and Indy Lights seasons. In Indy Lights, Askew started on pole, gave up the lead to rival Rinus VeeKay on the first lap. However, the Dutchman's handling eventually went away, and the Andretti Autosport rookie pulled away for his 4th win in a row. Askew now has 7 wins on the season and heads west for the final 2 events with a substantial 52-point championship lead. RP Motorsports Kirkwood started the tail of the 12-car Indy Pro 2000 field after an unfortunate disqualification in qualifying. It only took the rookie 5 laps to take the lead and grab his 6th win in the last 7 races. When Kirkwood's incredible run of dominance began at Road America, he was 45 points behind Rasmus Lind, and despite podiums in 6 of 7 races by Lind, heads to the final 2 events of the season trailing by only 6 points.